Alright, what's going on, guys? Hello and shit, Ed here. It is Wednesday morning. Happy Wednesday. We're on what I think is our 5th SARM review now, and today we're talking about S23. This is a good one that I've tried. We're going to dive into it. I'm going to talk about what it is, what it does, what are the benefits, side effects, dosage, timing, etc. All of that stuff. So let's get into the details here. Let's get right to it. So, S23 is a SARM. If you don't know, you should know by now from watching the videos. SARMs, they bind to your androgen receptors in a similar way that testosterone and its derivatives do, but they do so in a tissue-selective fashion, meaning that they bind to strictly muscle and bone tissue without affecting the other organs in the body. So S23 is no different. It's a SARM, but this one was developed actually as a male hormonal contraceptive. Very interesting. We're going to get into that in a second. As far as AR affinity, S23 is a very high affinity for the androgen receptors. So it's going to bind to them, it's going to bind to them strong, and it's got a high bioavailability, similar to that of LGD. LGD is known as one of the most bioavailable SARMs, meaning you can take it in oral form and it's going to work great. You don't need to take it in crazy dosages or take anything else with it. Your body's going to absorb it well and it's going to use it. So that's always good. S23 doesn't have many studies, but there have been a few animal studies that show that it has a good anabolic to androgenic effects. And here we go. We're getting into the kind of bad stuff that comes along with it, but it has a dose-dependent suppression of spermatogenesis with spontaneous recovery after cessation of treatment. So what that means is that when you're taking it, the more you take, the more it will suppress your body's ability to produce sperm. But when you get off of it, that will recover and your body will jump back and your testes will start creating sperm again. So that's good. Just don't take this stuff in too high of doses for too long, because there's not a lot of studies to say what's going to happen then. But so far, it looks like in the studies that they have done, there was spontaneous recovery of sperm production after you stop using S23. It reduces the sperm count by suppressing the concentrations of LH and FSH. That's your luteinizing hormone and your follicle stimulating hormone. Those kind of work in tandem to tell the testes to fire up, make testosterone, make sperm. So typically when you take SARMs or steroids, that stuff's going to be suppressed. A lot of times they compare this, I don't know why, I guess it makes sense. They compare S23 to Winstrol, which, if you don't know, is an oral steroid. It's known for kind of its hardening, drying out effects to make you look very dry and cut and lean. And S23 will have that same effect, where you're gonna get like hard, detailed kind of look with it. You're not gonna get all bloated and watery and big and goofy looking. You're gonna get like a nice, dense, hard, grainy look from it. So pretty neat. It's a heavy-duty SARM, probably the most suppressive SARM, so think twice before starting this. Try out some other ones first, maybe that aren't as suppressive. And I wouldn't try this by itself. We're going to talk about that in a second. But if you were to take this, how would you take it? Well, like I said, you can take it in oral form, dropper under the tongue. You can use it for bulking, cutting, recomp. This one's good really for all around. You can use it whatever whatever you want to do, just based on your calories. So you're gonna eat more, you're gonna gain weight. You're gonna eat less, you'll probably still gain weight, but you're gonna get cut up, shredded to shit. So that's sweet. This one's gonna offer some of the greatest anabolic effects out of all the SARMs. Like I said, this is the most kind of heavy duty one. This is the big boy of the SARMs, even more so than LGD, RAD. This is like top dog. And you should take it with testosterone. That's why I said you shouldn't take it solo. It's so suppressive that if you don't take it with a testosterone base, you're gonna suppress your testosterone so much where now you're gonna run into side effects of having low testosterone. So all the side effects that you can get while I guess your testosterone's low, you'll get tired, no energy, maybe gyno, all the bad shit. So I would recommend, if you're gonna try this, take it with a test base. So yeah, what kind of benefits can we expect from it? Well, like I say, always max out your natural potential before jumping into this stuff. try some other less heavy duty SARMs before you get into S23, but if you're gonna do it, you can expect that you're gonna get some pretty big gains in lean body mass and strength. Big time. You're gonna reduce your body fat. You're gonna get that hard, grainy, detailed muscle look. S23 is also shown to suppress myostatin levels. Myostatin is that protein that limits muscle growth. So there's a chemical in the body called myostatin, which basically tells your body when to stop making more muscle. So everybody has a natural limit that they can get to. And if you reduce the amount of myostatin, then your body can actually grow bigger. So there's some research that says that this can actually reduce your myostatin levels to help you get more gains than you otherwise naturally could. S23 is also going to improve your vascularity. You're going to get some crazy veins. In the gym, you're going to get some wild pumps. It's going to be great. You're going to improve your endurance. It's going to help with recovery. You're going to be able to work out harder. You're going to be able to work out longer, more frequently. Yeah, so this one's kind of like, it's almost like an in-between of like SARMs and steroids. It's probably a little safer on the liver than most oral steroids. Just because of the chemical nature. So you're going to be able to avoid some of those androgenic side effects that you would get with steroids, but probably, I mean, if you take this in high doses, like I said, without a test base, then you can expect to get some pretty gnarly testosterone suppression, which could lead to acne, gyno, hair loss. You might get aggression, the night sweats, the typical things that come with steroids you might get while you're on S23. As always, it's an oral compound. Watch out for liver toxicity. This one isn't going to be as bad as like some of those oral steroids, like Winstrol, for example. And also keep an eye on your cholesterol, your blood pressure. Keep that cardiovascular system in check, boys. So what are we looking at for dosage, timing, cycle length, stuff like that? Well, this one, you typically keep it shorter. Most SARM cycles, people will say like 8 to 12 weeks. This one, you should go 4 to 8 weeks. Looks like that's what people are running. Keep it a little shorter. It's got a short half-life as well, 12 hours. That means you're gonna wanna dose it twice per day. And how much are we talking? Typically between 5 to 25 milligrams is the dosage you're gonna see, 25 being on the very, very high end. 5 is kind of the beginner. If you're just trying this out, start with 5, try it for a couple weeks, and then maybe you can up it to 10, and then maybe up it to 15 from there. But I wouldn't go much higher than that. Like I said, this stuff's pretty damn strong. So you're gonna notice the effects on 5 or 10 milligrams a day. You don't need to be doing 25. Because there is a point of diminishing returns where you just take more and more and more thinking you're gonna get more gains, and you're not. It's gonna taper off. You should have a PCT in place, like a legit PCT, especially because you probably should be taking this with testosterone. So yeah, I don't recommend running this solo, but I mean, I guess if you, don't even do it. Fuck that, don't do it at all. So running with testosterone, do a normal PCT for this, like you would when you're coming off of testosterone. I have tried this one time. I tried it 15 milligrams a day, and I split it up into 2 little short bursts. I did about 3 or 4 weeks at the beginning of a test cycle, and then finished off with the last 3 or 4 weeks at the end of a test cycle, and then gave my body that little 3 or 4 week break in between. So my test cycle was, I forget, anywhere between 10 to 12 weeks. So I did like 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off, 3 weeks back on. That's something like that. And I did notice that compared to like a normal test cycle, the S23, I think improved like not only the fullness, like the roundness of the muscles, but also like the grainy kind of bodybuilder look that you get on stage when the dudes are just dried out and cut up, and you can see all the striations, the vascularity as well, and my strength went like through the roof. Some great strength benefits from this stuff, and yeah, so that's a pretty simple breakdown of it. I mean, I think we nailed all of the points. There's not a whole lot of studies on it. There's maybe a few you can find on rats, but not many clinical trials, so be wary with this stuff. If you're gonna like try it out, make sure you get it from a good source. Just be careful with it. And as always, do your research, all right? I do a lot of research on this stuff, but even I don't have all the answers. So here's just a quick little, my 2 cents, my overview of it. But yeah, keep looking into it, do your research, and go get big, get huge, have fun, be safe. Bye-bye.